Jones.
Well, we are in the last official weeks of winter. Certainly felt like spring today with highs in the 70s. But if you remember on Friday, Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis told you that things could get interesting with the colder weather moving in Sunday night into Monday. And if you remember just last night, I showed you the graphic for the ice potential, and that's what we're going to be tracking right now. And we still have that potential for that freezing rain during the overnight hours. Again, the impacts here in the Tennessee Valley look to be pretty minimal. However, we still have that threat for at least a light glazing, especially on those elevated surfaces like decks, cars, any trees. But of course, if the branches are weak, that could lead to some downed power lines, something we'll be keeping a close eye on. Also, we have that potential for, as the colder air rushes in, for at least some icy patches on bridges and overpasses. But we highlighted that area last night of northwest Alabama and across areas north of the Tennessee River, and that's where we have that winter weather advisory. That begins at midnight tonight and goes through mid-morning, so 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. That is when that is set to expire. So that includes most of the Tennessee Valley with the exception of Morgan, Marshall, and DeKalb County. So again, this is going to be a threat for the Monday morning commute. While widespread travel issues are not likely at this point because we've had such a warm weekend and the ground surfaces are warm from that, again, bridges and overpasses, that's what we're going to keep a close eye on. So just allow yourself a little bit of extra time because that's when we're going to have that threat of that freezing rain to be falling throughout your Monday morning commute with temperatures hovering right around that freezing mark. So especially on those bridges and overpasses, that's where you'll need to take it slow. And meteorologist Jeff Castle, he'll have an update, frequent updates on WAFF 48 News today, starting at 4:30 tomorrow morning. We're already tracking that cold air quickly rushing in. We've dropped to 35 degrees in Leoma and Pulaski, 42 in Florence, 47 in Huntsville right now. Still in the 60s in northeast Alabama, though, 64 in Scottsboro, Albertville, and Fort Payne, currently at 63 degrees right now. The rain is just now starting to begin across northwest Alabama. That's all it is right now, though, is just plain old rain. Temperatures are still above the freezing mark. Freezing rain, though, is not too far off. We've got reports, several reports, stretching all the way from Nashville to Memphis of that freezing rain and icing concerns. The snow threat, that's going to remain off to our north this time. So let's go hour by hour. During the overnight hours, we're going to continue to track that rain slowly making its way east across the region. Notice still around 3 a.m. Temperatures are in the middle to upper 30s for a good portion of the region, but that is above freezing. Just in time for the morning commute, though, that's when temperatures drop into the upper 20s to low 30s. So below the freezing mark, that's where we get that pink area showing up, and that's where we have that threat for freezing rain. So beginning as early as around 5 a.m. and lasting through around 8 a.m. Now notice there is a little blue and white in there, so a few snow flurries could mix in, but the bigger threat is going to be for that freezing rain potential, and mainly for areas north of the Tennessee River and northeast Alabama, and especially for southern middle Tennessee. If you're traveling any further north, expect widespread delays with that, widespread icing concerns with that as well. The precipitation moves out by around lunchtime at the very latest. High temperatures may rebound into the upper 30s, but it's going to be a cold, it is going to be a breezy day. So even though the highs are going to be in the upper 30s, by your evening commute, it's going to be quiet, but temperatures tumble back down into the upper 20s to around 30, and it's only going to feel like the teens for your evening commute. Overnight lows fall into the middle 20s by Tuesday morning, but southerly winds return for Tuesday afternoon, at least bumping those high temperatures up into the upper 40s. So it is just a brief cold spell, but we're certainly going to notice it after the 70s for today. Our next chance of more rain, that's going to come Thursday into Friday, but that's just plain old rain. And again, Jeff Castle will provide frequent updates starting at 4:30 tomorrow morning.
I know you said it's, a change from the 70s, but man, what a huge swing.
Yeah, just a stark contrast, but it's just luckily that it's pretty minimal here. Again, any further north, Nashville, significant icing.
All right, thanks, Lauren.